Hey guys, it's Damien from Marketing Food Online. I hope you guys are having a great day as always. I have a response to a email to one of my clients. I actually wanted to do a video response explaining the answer to this question because it's actually a question that's really interesting, and I'm glad that she had brought up this topic. And when I dealt with Fresh Market, when I had my products in retail stores and I was doing the demonstrations and filling the shelves, coming in and rotating fresh stock, this was actually something that was a thought of mine, but I actually never pursued it. So the question was this: do you consign your food products to local mom and pop stores? When you're starting out your food business and you're wanting to sell locally, that is always a great way to get started. Mom and pop stores are like the independently owned stores. It may be like a family that's got 3 or 4 locations, or maybe just one. They are not the big box stores. So getting into these mom and pops and getting into coffee shops and local stores is a lot easier process than it would be getting into bigger ones. And their requirements are not necessarily as stringent, okay? And a lot of times they love unique, locally produced products that allow them to help local businesses grow as well as their own. So the question is this: do you consign a food product to a local mom and pop store? Now I'm going to give you the pros and cons of doing this because I'm very familiar with the consignment concept. My dad actually, my father owned a consignment shop which sold a lot of furniture and stuff. So the process, if you're not familiar with consignment, is basically the retailer takes the product in. They do not pay for it up front. But once they sell it, then what they do is you come back either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Then you check your inventory, okay? And then they take a 20% cut and you keep the remainder amount. Now, the benefit to this, again, like I was saying, was going to be that you get some exposure locally and you can get your foot in the door and say, when you approach another store, you say, look, I'm already at, Bill and Jan's grocery store down the street, and they've been doing really well with our product. They sell it quite frequently. They're a really great company. We've had a good experience. Can I bring my stuff to you guys? You guys being like another grocery store or local store, so you can build up kind of like a resume, if you will, of places that you've been, okay? And that's a good thing. Now, there's some downsides to this. There are some cons to it, and it affects your bottom line, and it also affects profitability and a lot of other facets. So I'm going to explain what I mean. So here's what happens. This is a scenario, okay? So you have a consignment agreement with the local store. You make freshly baked products or freshly made products that they don't have a big shelf life because you're not using preservatives, okay? So let's say you even have 1 month or even 2 month shelf life, which is not bad, but it's still kind of small in comparison to a lot of mass-produced product. Now, your product is great quality, freshly made, packaged cute. You got a lot of great colors going on. Now, you bring in 100 bags, okay? And the store sells 20 of them. A month goes by, and let's just use the example of freshly baked cookies. You have them in your box, you got them in your bag, whatever it is. You don't have preservatives. Now, they sold 20 of your bags, and you made a little bit of money. That's good. But you've got 80 of them that you've put time, resources, ingredients, packaging, labeling, all of this stuff. You've created a product. It's sitting on a shelf. Didn't sell. Now it's expired because you have a short shelf life. Now you've got to throw those away, and you've got to write that off as a loss. 80 bags compared to selling 20, I can tell you that 20 bags of cookies are not going to offset 80 bags that you've had to dispose of. So the idea of consignment is great, okay? But here's how I would recommend you do it if you want to pursue this concept without having to have the retailer buy it up front. Bring in a very small amount. When I say small amount, it's going to have to be up to you to kind of figure this out. I would recommend, if you're doing one product with one flavor, there's no variations. If it's nuts and you happen to have, let's say, salted roasted sea salt nuts, bring in about 10 to 15 bags. If you've got a variety, well, then I would bring in 10 to 15 bags of each variety. What I would do is I would rather sell out of the product, and it creates a demand for it because people have bought it, than bringing in 100 bags and selling 20 of them and having 80 of them expire and you trash them. If you sell out, you could simply call up, let's say you delivered on a Monday, and then 2 weeks later, 2 Mondays later, you call back and the store owner says, look, man, this is sold out. They're gone. They're all gone. You only brought in 10 or 15 bags, but you sold 10 or 15 bags, right? You made your money on your 10 or 15 bags. Now you need to refill it and replenish it. Now you're going to say, you know what? Can I come in and sample these because it seems like they're selling really well? Don't overload them with inventory or stock because you're going to waste your money, like I just said. You're at everything else that goes along with making it. You would rather err to the side of selling out of a product and then having to replenish it super fast than have a whole bunch of product there, not selling it, and then you're going to be the one that loses the money. The retailer loses nothing. He's just giving you the shelf space. And at the end of the day, it's no loss to him. He is buying it. He's getting his 20% at the end of that sell period. And what are you doing? You're throwing away your trash and you're losing money. You're not growing a brand. You're not making profit. It's a waste of time. So if you're going to consign it, if you're not getting money up front, then you need to explain to them, look, I would also do it this way. For the next 2 months, I'll consign it to you. If your store sells 100 bags of my product a month, would you be willing to start buying it in bulk or buying it wholesale and start selling it? That way you get out from under this constant concept of consigning something. Consigning is great if you do it with food, but you have to do it for a short period. And what I mean by that is you don't want to do consignment with a store that's not selling more and making you money than it's costing you. And if you're going to do this, you have to create an agreement with that store owner and say, look, at first, it doesn't have to be a written agreement. You don't have to get them tied down to all that. Just do a verbal thing. Look, hey, Bill, I'm going to bring in my product. If I could sell 100 bags a week or 100 bags a month after 2 months, we would love to have you start buying it on a wholesale basis in bulk. And then bring in sales sheet information. Bring in information about how you sell it, okay? You want the retailer to buy it from you. You don't want to be just giving it away and selling a few bags of product and all of a sudden that you think that your business is a huge success because you're in 5 different stores, but you're throwing out more than you're selling. That's not a success. That's a loss and you're going to be out of business. So the idea is this. Sample the product. Say, look, I'm going to tease. It's kind of a teaser. I'm going to give your customers some of this product for the next few weeks. We're going to see how it sells. After 2 months, let's move into buying it wholesale. Buy it from me in bulk or a case pack. And I'll come in every 2 weeks or a month, rotate out the fresh stuff and all that good stuff, whatever it is as far as the time frame for your product. If it's fresh enough to sit there for a couple of months, come back in a couple of months. You don't need to be there every day. You don't need to be there every week even. When I was at Fresh Market, we rotated out stores because we had 8, I believe it was 8 that we were going to. We couldn't possibly even get there every single week at 8 stores and then run a business on the side and sell stuff on the line, and that just doesn't work. Try that out and see how it works, okay? So if you're looking to consign a food product, it's a good idea, but understand the benefits of doing it and do it the right way. Do it the way that will benefit you. You're not a charity. You're not there to give away your products, okay? You're there to make money and you're a business person. You need to think as such and you need to be profitable. So if you do it the smart way. Give them a little agreement, verbalize it, say, look, we'll give a couple months. Let me try it out. We'll consign it. No, it's no risk for you. But if we start to see it selling, you need to start buying it from us. I hope that helps you out and answers the question. And I've got a couple more videos to answer in regards to the remainder of your email. So I'll do that on a separate one because it's a different topic about barcodes. So thank you guys. If this video gives you some understanding and gives you a great idea to sell locally if you're producing it, give me a big thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you don't, give me some questions. Ask me a little bit more about it. I'd be happy to help.